This is Post Malone's Big Rig number 3. All the issues are special double-sized, which kind of makes the story flow a little bit better. It's presented by Vault, and all the books are red, black, and white. Kind of a new thing I've been seeing coming out in comics a little bit more often. But let's dive into what happens in this double-sized issue 3. Now, where we left off in issue 2 was the trucker and his team were on top of a hill where the truck broke down, and demons from the next town that they were trying to go hunt come and meet them where they're at. There's been some sabotage within the trucker's encampment, and he doesn't know that, but let's see what happens. So they've sent the entire team away, and it's really just the 2 warriors, this one, the witch, the trucker, and an old man who can't really move with everybody else. So they're trying to build up their defenses so they can take down the demons. The trucker here, this is where we learn more about the trucker and his past. Here we learn he used to actually be a knight. We used to think he was a priest for the longest time, but we see he's actually been a knight. He's putting on his knight costume. We can see it here, but he doesn't put on the helmet. He dons the trucker hat as he's now the trucker as the demons come to approach and kill him. And just right away, tons of blood. He's doing a great job with the sword that he has. The warrior that they have up here, she is fighting with them off with a machine gun. We've got the witch up here trying to help as well too. And she breaks out her chainsaw, something she's been wanting to do for quite a while. But it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. They're starting to get taken over, but that's where our old man comes in. His grandson, he's sent away, and he stayed back because he knows he's not going to make it, and he'll just slow them down. But he stayed back, and it looks like he has a flamethrower, and he's going to light that up and kill as many of them as he can. There's a hand grenade there that's also set as a trap, but he's not going to make it. He thought as long as he could, but he doesn't make it. But right before he dies, a demon tells him that his grandson is also about to die. And if we look over to where he is, this is the person that betrayed the trucker and his team and is going to be killing that entire group of people that they have been trying to protect. Back though at the trucker's camp, more demons, bigger, more powerful demons are coming for them. And they're starting to lose ground. The trucker is in the middle of the battle and he's winning, but he's actually starting to lose. He's taking care of some of the bigger demons, but a lot of the smaller ones are overpowering him. And the Prince of Hell, one of the Princes of Hell, one of the generals, is now here and is ready to take out the trucker and his team. But they're not going to let that happen, especially our warrior. She doesn't want to let that happen. She says she's going to go straight up and attack this general, and it doesn't go well. And we kind of see how kind of weird it is that he's like fused with the bull here, but it just doesn't go well. She does end up getting able to stab the bull in the eye. There's some more arrows that pierce them, but in the process she loses her leg. Batu loses her leg, and our witch isn't gonna let that happen. She doesn't want to lose Batu. She's really her only friend. And so she tells the trucker, get in, I'm going to make this truck start. And she summons lightning down to help the truck start. They ram the truck into the demon prince, and he appears to be dead. But our witch is going to keep attacking and is going to take out and dehorn the Prince of Hell and hopefully can find Batu and save her. We don't know if she's alive or dead. And as we enter the next chapter, this is kind of like a time jump, per se, because we just see the big rig over here. We don't know what's happening with it. And we next see our witch talking to a priest. It looks like they're in some sort of negotiation about some sort of deal. Obviously, looks like she's eating well, she's dressed well, but she doesn't really know what's going on for sure. But she does think that this priest isn't really the nicest guy and maybe is in cahoots with Lucifer himself, or maybe herself. We then see our trucker in the city cloaked and trying to stay hidden. He approaches an old man behind a door and tells him that he is a knight, and he's one of the Knights of the Six Petals by giving him this coin. And this is where we start to get some of the backstory of the trucker. We see that he was once a knight to protect pilgrims, but there are different groups of knights, and it kind of seems like there was a conflict between them, and that's why he may have left the knights in the beginning. But this old man was once a knight with him and was friends with him. Here we start to see a little bit of backstory of Batu the warrior, and we see how she got archery, how her grandfather told her she has to focus and hone her skills. And we see that she's still alive, actually, and she's trying to regain the ability to shoot a bow and arrow, even though she's lost her leg. But the men in the castle where her and the witch are presiding don't think she's good. She's good, but they don't think that she should be able to shoot a bow and arrow because she's a woman. So they send her back to her room, they escort her, and the witch comes and finds her and tells her, hey, you can't talk to me in a negative tone because I came back to save you. You're the only person I have left in this world, and I didn't even want to help these people, but you guys convinced me to help those people in the previous village, and look where it got us. I said we should have just gone straight to the generals and destroyed them, but we protected the people because you wanted to do that, and I want you to be here with me. We flash back to the trucker and we see that he quit being a knight. He gave up on some of his oaths, and it was fine for a time, but when they told him you have to come back and be a knight and leave his wife who was sick, they said, all right, if you're going to do that, we're going to brand you and we're going to make you an exile. And even now, this old man, he knows that John is lost and he's seeking guidance. And so he tells John, the trucker, that he's forgiven for all the sins he's had in the past, all the mistakes that he's made. He's apparently a priest and can forgive him. And he says, you believe that the witch is the key to fighting these demons and saving the world, and you should go be with him because that's part of what it means to walk the path. You don't know what's going to happen, and you just have to trust that you're doing the right thing. And that's just part of life. We flash back again to the witch and Batu, and we see that there is indeed a way that they're going to try and kill Lucifer. Obviously, they can't kill Lucifer and go down to hell and kill her because Batu only has one leg now. But our witch has a plan to see how they can have Lucifer come directly to her and how they can take her out. And it looks like the witch was 100% right. The priest is trying to kill her to get access to the big rig and is in league with Lucifer herself. They use this ribbon to spy on the priest and on Lucifer and overhear their conversations. And on the very last page, we see that Lucifer herself is going to be coming to Earth from hell, and she needs a vehicle herself in order to take on the big rig and the trucker. So the next issue is going to be pretty exciting. It looks like it's going to have hopefully a really big battle. We're going to see more of the trucker kind of stepping into his own and Lucifer fighting them head on probably. So let's see what happens in the next issue. Overall, I thought this issue was pretty good. It gave us a lot of backstory for the trucker that we've been wanting to have for a while. I understand, again, why we did a double-sized issue and why that kind of translates into the cost. The art is finally growing on me. I think this has been one of the first comic books in a long time I've seen where they've only done black, white, and red. But Marvel now has a book called Black, White, and Red Venom, and it's the same style, just black, white, and red. And I like that book, and I think I like that one just because there's a little bit of familiarity with the characters, and I didn't have that at first with this. But now that I have it a little bit more, and I do think the art in this has leveled up a little bit. We see a lot more of like these background textures, whereas in the first two issues, we didn't have a lot of that. And maybe that was like a rush to print the book and get it out. But like this, just this shading that we have here and here, that would have been all white if this was probably the first issue. That's kind of the style the first issue was drawn in. So I do really like how they're adding more texture and creating a little bit more dynamic artwork and scenery with this book. Like even this, like this probably would have been all white, but they went with like a gradient. So I think they're stepping into it. They've probably maybe received some feedback, but we'll see how things go in the future with the book. I do think it's getting a lot better, and the double-sized issues definitely help with keeping, I think, readers engaged. But I think what's going to be a really fun read is to read this from beginning to end all in one book. I think that's going to be a really excellent story to read. But if you haven't got the book yet, if you haven't started to read yet, like, it's still plenty of time to be getting it every month, because the book is good to read every month. I think it would be cool at the end if they did like a unique color take on the book where they like colored everything or added more textures and stuff. I think that'd be really cool and interesting to see. Or even like how this cover is here, where, like, you know, there's more detail on the cover. There's always more detail on covers than there is sometimes on the inside of a book. So I think maybe like an enhanced version of the book, even if they keep it red, black, and white, would be kind of cool and kind of interesting to see as like just everything in one book at the end. I'm sure that'd be a pretty penny. But overall, I do think that this book is getting better and better with every issue. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you've read it, if you like it, if you don't like it, let's talk about it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.